on the replay. Hey, put it on the replay. Hey, put it on the replay. Go red, go white, go red, go white, go red, go white, go red, go white. Now when I say red, y'all say claws. Red claws, red claws. When I say red, y'all say claws. Red claws, red claws. We got the best fans in the league, standing ovation. Clap, clap, bravo. Shout out to Crest Station. Nation, defeating any teams we be facing. We the best, man, face it. Now when I say red, y'all say claws. Red claws, red claws. When I say red, y'all say claws. Red claws, red claws.
Everyone, and welcome to Maine Red Claws basketball right here on 96.3 The Big Jab, the NBA Development League Network, and Time Warner Cable Sports as the Red Claws get ready to square off against the Idaho Stampede live from the Portland Expo. I'm Chris Sedanka, along with the coach Rick Simons. Coach, it feels like we haven't been here for a while, and that's because Maine did have a quick road trip, and then, of course, the holiday as well. But a 3-0 start here for Maine so far. So far, so good, I guess.
Absolutely. You're absolutely right also that it does seem like it's been a couple of weeks because it's been a couple of weeks. And this may be the opportunity for this Red Claws team to find out how good they are, because both teams come into this game undefeated, but this team has played some better competition thus far.
No question about that. Idaho taking down Springfield quite easily last night. But here's a Maine team, Coach. When we last left them, 2 wins to start off the season at home before going to Fort Wayne for the win. Unfortunately, for Maine, though, as we saw in that last game here, Jermaine Taylor, one of their starters, going down with a serious knee injury, so we're not going to be seeing him for basically the duration of the season. However, still a lot of players on this team. As we've talked about really all year long, depth-wise, this is a very deep Maine team. Well,
in professional sports of any type, you obviously are going to have injuries, and you know you got to be prepared. I think I'm always more concerned and more disappointed for the individual, because they work so hard to get in positions so that hopefully they get that call up. I have no qualms that the Red Claws will be ready, that they'll have someone able to step in and pick up the scoring slack. But I just feel bad for Taylor, because a very skilled, hardworking young man.
Should be a tough matchup here tonight for these young guards for Maine. They are certainly going to be put to the test.
Yeah, without a question. Idaho has terrific guards, and so much of basketball, I know the fans always like to look inside for the big guys and the dunks, but so much of basketball revolves around the quality of guard play, and Idaho comes in with a couple of the best.
Idaho Stampede undefeated. The Maine Red Claws, that is, undefeated as well. Should be a fun one here tonight from the Portland Expo. Earlier today, we had the chance to speak to the head coach of the Maine Red Claws, Mike Taylor, and this is what the coach had to say. And we're now joined by the head coach of the Maine Red Claws, Mike Taylor. And, Coach, feels like we haven't been here in a few weeks, but you guys did go on a quick road trip, and so far so good, 3-0 now in the season.
We're really happy with the way we started the year. I think we've got a lot of good contributions from many different players on the roster. We've taken on every challenge as a team. We've had very good chemistry, very good teamwork. Really love the way we're defending right now. Love the way we're sharing the ball on offense, and we're ready to play a really good Idaho team here tonight.
Fans always ask, what is it that the team does if you have an extended amount of time like you've had for the last week or so? Talk us through a little bit how much time they got off, or what they did for Thanksgiving, etc.
Well, we practiced. We were on the road for our road trip and Thanksgiving. So we came home, and then we spent Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday this week working hard in the gym, trying to get better in certain areas. Half-court execution. We turned the ball over a little too much in Fort Wayne. Refining our defensive details, the game plan, and different things that we need to work on moving forward. So it's been a tough week for the guys, but we've had 3-4 great practices, and the guys are really focused. So we're excited about the chance to play Idaho here today, and hopefully all that hard work will pay off.
Obviously, you never like to see someone get injured, and Jermaine Taylor is a great loss for you guys, and certainly we feel for the kid, but as we know in sports, you move on. And just overall, when you look at your team, how have you made those adjustments in his absence?
Well, JT was playing great basketball, arguably the best of his career. He was ready for that call-up, and injury struck. It hurt our team. But, again, that next man-up mentality that this league has, usually it's for a call-up or a roster move, not for an injury. This time it was. our guys have collectively come together. The backcourt players have stepped up. Chris Babb into the starting lineup. Frank Gaines has been great for us. Corey Almond is there. Cam Taylor now healthy and ready to play. So it's a collective group effort. We were planning to rely on JT a lot for some scoring. So you see our half-court execution. We've had to really work a little bit harder in the half-court. But, basketball is a team game, and you win as a team and lose as a team, and you try to overcome any one individual situation. Unfortunately for JT, he's out for the year, but we're excited for him when he comes back.
As a coach, we always say you never stay the same. You're either getting better or you're getting worse. What is it that you've worked on for this last week, and how do you feel you're getting better in certain areas?
Well, we tried to really continue to, emphasize our defensive details. We're defending through the first 3 games really, really well. We're very pleased with where we stand defensively. We've tried to work a little bit on our half-court execution. The 32 turnovers in Fort Wayne. It's amazing you win a game when you turn the ball over 32 times. So we're working to get better in the half court, and we're just working in general to get sharper and better in basketball situations. Feeding the post, basket cutting, pick and roll play, on and on. So we've had 4 good practices this week. We're excited about the chance to play, and we know we've got a tough test here today with Idaho.
Keys against Idaho.
Idaho is a great guard play team. Pierre Jackson's outstanding. D. Bost is a great playmaker. So these 2 guards are key. They did a lot of damage last night in Springfield, so we've really got to have a great defensive effort collectively in the backcourt. We've got to do a good job in transition, and then especially in pick and roll situations. These guys are really great playmakers. And the thing I like about the Idaho team is the pieces fit well together. Those 2 guys really set the table for the rest of the team, and we know we've got a big challenge ahead tonight.
Good luck tonight, Coach.
Thank you.
The Development League Network, as well as Tom Warner Cable Sports. Great to have you with us. Chris Sadek, along with the coach Rick Simons. Mike Antonello is back at the studio here on this Saturday evening. And again, it's Both, Jackson, Hearn, Howell, and Lauderdale, your Idaho starters. One change to Maine's from what we saw opening night just a couple weeks ago. Obviously, the injury to Jermaine Taylor changing the starting lineup. So here you go, 6'1" from Washington, Abdul Ghadi getting that start at point guard. And coach, incredible opportunity here for both Marcel Anderson, who will be coming off the bench, and Abdul Ghadi to really prove their worth against the very talented guard tandem that Idaho will bring to the table tonight.
Well, and absolutely, and as a competitor, you want to match yourself against the best. So you don't think for a minute that they haven't been gearing towards this game this evening, because you hit it right on the head, Chris.
For Maine, also 6'5", Iowa State, Chris Babb gets his first start at home. Babb, an all-around kind of scorer. We'll see what he's able to do. First couple games, more of that role as a role player coming off the bench. It'll be fun to see what he's able to do tonight.
Well, he knocked down some threes and was able to provide some energy minutes. A lot of times it's interesting to see how a player, reacts to extended periods of playing time.
Down low, 6'8", from Oklahoma, Romero Osby. Had the chance to talk to him on my radio show yesterday. Very mature young man getting an opportunity here to show what he's worth. And I know he's one of those players that Coach Taylor wants to see continue to grow game in and game out here.
You cannot speak with him or meet him without coming away impressed. He is a class act. And obviously just a lot of poise, a lot of talent on the floor, and we certainly hope he gets an opportunity to play at the next level.
The face of the Maine Red Claws, 6'8" from Dayton, Chris Wrights, and then down low, Damon Bell-Holter, 6'9" from Oral Roberts. But really, Chris Wright, if you missed it, a great play that Mike Taylor drew up with the backdoor dunk off the throw-in to win the game over Fort Wayne in the waning seconds. I know it's a game that Maine, that would have been a crushing loss considering they had such a big lead at halftime and it disappeared in that fourth quarter. But to have that composure right up that play, what a great finish it was for Maine.
Absolutely, and Coach Taylor deserves all the credit because when you go to the old chalkboard and be able to reach into your bag of tricks, they don't always work. But by golly, he was ready, he was prepared, and that is the job of a coach.
So here we go. Erie comes out with the Portland Trailblazer looks with the black uniforms, white numbers, white letters, red trim. Idaho head coach Steve Brandis with Mike Peck as the head coach. Assistant coaches Endon Hamilton and Rob Wordham. Portland Trail Blazers are the NBA affiliate. They are 4-0 on the season. For the Maine Red Claws, home whites with the red trim, red numbers, red letters. Head coach for the Maine Red Claws is Mike Taylor. Tunde Adekola and Ronald Norred are the assistants for the Claws. Affiliate, the Boston Celtics, the first place Boston Celtics at 9-12 in the Atlantic Division somehow. Nice win last night, though, over Denver. Brad Stevens doing a good job up there.
He's
so
doing
far.
a terrific job.
Yep.
What will he do if he ever has talent?
That's a good question.
It's a war of attrition in that division.
Maine also tied for first place, 3-0 so far in the East. Here we go. Maine is going to go right to left on your radio. It's Red Claws basketball. Just about to get underway on this Saturday evening. The tip by Bellholter in Lauderdale is won by Maine. First time they've won it at home this year. And we are underway with Gotti to Chris Babb, left side to Romero Osby. Here is Osby inside to Gotti. Gotti, little turnaround floater goes, and Abdul Gotti gets that to go.
Nice little jump hook in there, 5, 6, 7-footer.
Foul drives in. Nice cut by Hearn, and he has a complete open lane for the easy right-handed layup.
Yeah, Romero Osby should have stepped over there from the help side.
Osby, top of the key, 3, too strong. Rebound all the way out, and actually ends up with Maine. It's Gotti again. This time his floater is an air ball, and Reggie Hearn easily brings it back the other way. Quick outlet to Jackson. Here is Pierre Jackson, first time we have called his name in the game. Looks to drive in. We're going to have an offensive foul called on Dallas Lauderdale.
Seems like officials are very much more involved in calling that illegal screen. And you know, I get frustrated when I see that as a coach, not out here in terms of the call, but it's the player coming off the screen who's responsible. It's not the screener. If you rub your man off the shoulder of the screener, you'll never have an illegal screen called.
Gotti again with the turnaround, doesn't go. Bellholter with the rebound, can't get that to go, and the rebound out by Idaho. Quickly, it's Boss the other way. Boss cut off, brings it back outside. We're a minute and a half into the ball game, tied at 2. Cross-court pass, a bad one. However, it is tracked down by Reggie Hearn, and they'll reset with 8 on the shot clock. Jackson works on Babb, drives in. Those two know each other, obviously, from Big 12 play last year, and Jackson threw it away. Chris Babb, an Iowa State player. Pierre Jackson, an outstanding career at Baylor.
There was a couple of passes. The first one along the baseline hit the rim, and the second one wasn't within 4 feet of the intended target.
That coach is open. Chris Wright pass goes right to you, Coach. Oh, was knocked off an Idaho player, so it will be Maine basketball.
Hey,
is that the first 4 years? Is that the first
I've
one?
told you before, bad shooters are always open, according to Pete Carroll. And I was wide open on the play.
And we have a foul away from the ball. And that is going to be called on Reggie Hearn, I think, with a hold.
Game a little slow getting started here. Not much flow. Several errant passes and deflections.
Now the ball once again is in here for Maine. 10 on the shot clock. Chris Babb looking to drive in, cut off. Bellholter for 3, no good. And a push foul down low called on Maine. It's either going to be Osby, and it is going to be called on Roe Osby. So that is the first foul charge to the Claws here tonight. Two minutes in, still tied at 2. Here is Jackson for the Stampede. Looking to drive in. Nice pass by Howell, who cut right down the lane and laid it in for 2.
Terrific recognition, too, by Jackson.
Maine will drive it all the way in. Bad pass, stolen away by Jackson. 3-on-2 for Idaho the other way. Stop and pop 3 is no good.
Tough shot by D. Bost. Yep. Never really had his feet set.
Looked like he had the lane to drive in, too.
and had numbers, 2-on-1.
Bellholter, Babb 3, no good in the rebound. Tracked down by Richard Howell.
Chris Babb, actually, and note that Chris Babb's taken 4 or 5 shots already in the early going.
And there's the shot missed by Jackson. Quickly the other way, it's Maine. Chris Wright driving in, kicks it out to Babb to Osby. Osby decides not to shoot the 3, dribbles in, takes an easy 10-footer, and that goes for Romero Osby, his first 2 on the night, and we're back tied at 4. Jackson picks up his dribble to Bost. Double teamed in the corner, back to Howell, top of the key, quick pass inside to Lauderdale. Passes up an easier shot for a more difficult fadeaway left-handed hook that does not go, and Maine brings it back the other way. Gotti, Osby, open for 3. He'll take it, no good. That went in and out. However, Maine tracked down the rebound. Chris Wright going up with it and was fouled on the way up, and he'll have 2 free throws coming his way. And that is number 2. Check that. That foul called on D. Boss. That is his first foul.
At this point, it looks to me like the Claws are a little too anxious in their offensive sets. I mean, virtually every time down, they've taken a 3, and several of those have been by players, post players.
Chris Wright gets the first free throw.
They're just not going deep enough into their sets so that they're utilizing the shot clock.
Chris Wright's second free throw will go in as well, so it's a 2-point lead for Maine early in this ball game. Here is Bost. Right side, Jackson. Looking to drive in. Nice hesitation move, then tries the fadeaway, won't go. Ball tipped up right to Richard Howell. Some bad luck there for Maine as they looked like they had the rebound and went right to Howell, and he laid it in easy to throw. What a great pass. I have no idea how that just went in. Chris Wright's shot was blocked by about his waist, and he threw it up and it went in. A great cut by Wright, though, and a nice find by Gotti. So Maine quickly retaking the lead, 8-6. Here's Howell, catch and shoot. His runner goes from about 10 feet, and we're back to a tie game, and the tempo starting to pick up just a little bit.
It's a beautiful game when the ball goes in the basket.
How about the strength by Chris Wright on that basket?
Yeah, it's so athletic.
We're going to get a travel called on Damon Bellholter as he tried to back in.
I look out, Pierre Jackson's listed at 5'11", and I think that is generous. But boy, is he evasive with the ball. He's got it on the string and able to get that shot off the last time down just because he was able to step back and kind of throw the floater up over the defense.
Quick catch and shoot 3, no good. Here, Jackson is slow to get started here, and we talked about the big night he had last night, just not getting it going here tonight. 8-8 your score, 7:09 to play in the first quarter. Maine basketball, a couple substitutions already for the Claws as Chris Wright will take a rest, as well as Damon Bellholter. Coming into the game, Ty Walker, the 7-footer from Wake Forest, who screens for Gotti. Ball kicked out to Chris Babb, wide open for 3, no good. Left it short, also into the game, the very good outside scoring guard Frank Gaines. Nice move by Boss, kicks it outside. Long 3 though, no good by Reggie Hearn. Quickly the other way, Chris Babb, nice little touch pass down low to Walker. The Walker pointed, he said he wanted it up as the ball was knocked out of bounds. Nice defensive play there by Stampede to break that up.
Both teams 0 for 5 from beyond the arc, 0 for 10 in the game.
Here's Gotti into Babb. Babb fakes the outside shot, now finds Walker from the left elbow too strong. Babb tracks down the rebound. Fresh shot clock for Maine. Gaines drives it all the way down, finishes with the left. Goes to the line for the... We just lost power.
Back now.
So as we enter double overtime, it's been an incredible ball game.
We have lost power, but now we are back as the drive-in is good by Richard Howe. We apologize for the technical difficulties, but as the 3 ball is an air ball by Romero Osby back to the Idaho Stampede. It's 11-10, 6:03 to play here in the first quarter. Maine with the lead, Idaho with the basketball. Again, we lost power at the table, so we apologize for that, but we are back here from the Portland Expo with 5:58 to go in this first quarter. Howe getting the rebound off the missed shot. His shot is blocked. Second effort. Nice job by Dallas Lauderdale down low. Lays it in, and Idaho retakes the lead, and then a nice steal by D. Boss. Here's Jackson. Will pull up for 3 from the pass from Boss. Still no good, as everyone's still missing from downtown. And then the ball is knocked out of bounds by Richard Howe, and we will take a break. 12-11 early here with 5:36 remaining in the first quarter. Red Claws trailing by 1. It's Red Claws basketball on Top of the Cable Sports and the NBA Development League Network. Diamonds 5:36 to play here in the first quarter. The Maine Red Claws with the 1-point lead, 12-11 and Coach, a combined 0 for 10 from downtown as both of these teams struggling to get things going offensively.
Well, and personally, I'd like to see Romero Osby go inside and establish that presence. He's 0 for 3 from behind the arc already, and I just don't think it's his strength. Dominate in the paint and then work your way out.
Here is Osby, finds Gaines. That's his range. Frank Gaines buries the 3, and Maine takes the lead by 2, 14-12.
I'll tell you, Chris, we have seen him come in and absolutely light it up. So he's very comfortable behind the arc.
By the way, when we lost power, he did finish the 3-point play, so he's now up to 6 points early on. Shot no good inside by Richard Howe, and quickly Maine the other way. Osby catch, turnaround jumper underneath, no good, and the rebound to Idaho. Idaho in there with Pierre Jackson, D. Boss, Lauderdale still in there, along with Hal and Hearn as the little floater goes for Pierre Jackson. Last thing you want to see is that guy catching fire.
I'll tell you, he went into the sequoias and obviously is comfortable there.
Gotti throws it down low. Walker, extra pass, Babb back to Gotti. He will take the 3, no good, in the rebound by Osby. However, they're going to say he pushed off, and Osby just picked up. Foul number 2. So Abdul Gotti and Osby will go to the bench. Marcel Anderson, first action that Anderson has had tonight from Harris Stowe State. Chris Wright back in as well.
The Claws have only 2 fouls, but both of them are on Osby.
.4:15 now to go in the first. It is a 14-14 game. Idaho looking to take the lead. It's Lauderdale. We're going to have an offensive foul called as Pierre Jackson is going to get called with the push-off.
Nice job of defense there by Marcel Anderson, and in order to get free, Jackson had to, as you say, pushed off to get some space.
Here is Babb, top of the key, gets a high screen, looking to drive in, kicks it back outside to Walker, who throws it into the stands
The old zig,
as Gaines was cutting inside.
the old zig when you should have zagged.
We just had a fan who refused to give the ball to an Idaho player, giving it to the ref as they were talking a little bit of smack. All in good and fun, but that was pretty funny. Here's Jackson. Oh, another bad pass and stolen away by Maine. However, Chris Wright couldn't hold on to it. Ball knocked out of bounds, so it will remain with the Idaho Stampede, and they're going to say that Maine truly never had possession. Shot clock will stay at 12. Ball comes in to Howe, hands off, Boss, 3 ball, good. 3-point lead for Idaho. Quickly up the court, it's Babb left open for 3. He still can't find the range, and the rebound tracked down by Reggie Hearn. Quick outlet to Bost. Bost, high screen. Cross-court pass is a bad one, stolen away by Chris Babb. Babb and Anderson finds Anderson, who misses the shot, but it goes right to Chris Wright, who lays it in for 2. Anderson a little bit too low there. However, it was nice that Chris Wright was there to help him out. Pierre Jackson underneath. His reverse layup won't go. Looked like it was altered a little bit by a Maine player. Then a bad pass up top. Nice job by Hearn to break it up. The other way, it's Jackson. Oh, nice bounce pass by Howell down low to Lauderdale. Ball knocked out of bounds. It will stay with Idaho when we return. 17-16. Maine with trailing by 1 with 2:58 remaining in the first. It's Red Claws basketball, Time Warner Cable Sports, and the NBA Development League Network. Back 17-16, Maine with trailing by 1, excuse me. Idaho basketball as we get back underway. Ball tipped up and nearly stolen away by the Claws as Corey Allman has checked in for the Claws. Very good outside shooter. Idaho continuing to go with their starting 5. Nice crossover by Jackson. Bounce pass. Bost open for 3. This time it will not go. Chris Wright tracks down the rebound for the Claws, and he wants to run. Wright gets by Jackson, drives in, just throws it up with one hand and lays it in for 2, and now Maine has that 1-point lead.
Coast to coast.
Here's Boss, cut off left side, finds Hal, thought about the shot from the left elbow instead, looking to drive in on Chris Wright. Wright cuts him off, back outside to Boss into Hal, and we have a defensive 3 seconds, I believe is the call. And it's going to be called on Frank Gaines. So the technical free throw will be taken by Pierre Jackson with a chance to tie this game at 18. You know, Coach, we were just talking during the break that this building needs a run.
Yeah, it's a little flat right now. The game, you know, obviously there's 2 ways of looking at it. The crowd's going to incite the game spirit, or is the game going to become electric,
right,
and then the crowd, you know, follows. I think it also goes for when you're broadcasting. A lot of times we're reporting the action, but right now there's not a lot of it.
Jackson cross-court pass. Here's Boss driving in. High floater won't go. Lauderdale, the rebound, can't get it to go. And finally, Richard Howell is there to clean it up. So Idaho with 3 opportunities there, finally cashing in and taking the lead back. 20-18, under 2 now to play in the first quarter.
You know what we may need to do is like they do in soccer when we score, you know, go.
Well, Frank Gaines is trying his best to get things rolling here as he drove in, finished with the left hand, and he's now up to 8 points, tie game. And there's a big dunk. Nice little flush there by Richard Howell. He cleans it up again quickly the other way. It's Marcel Anderson high off the off the back rim. No good, but he was fouled on the shot attempt. Marcel Anderson so quick on the dribble.
Brought the ball up in a flash and then went up in the air and looked like he was going to have it blocked, kind of brought it down and then shot it again. So some elevation there and some hang time.
Here, Jackson just picked up his second foul. First shot by Anderson is good. Coach is going to keep him in the game. Mike Beck telling him, hey, listen, man, you got 2 fouls, be careful. But he is going to keep him in there as the second shot is no good. And Idaho is 130 away from keeping those starters in the entire first quarter. Here is Jackson. Tough pull-up from about 18, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds, I believe, off of Lauderdale, and that is the call. So Maine with an opportunity here to retake the lead, 1:22 to go in the first.
Kind of an interesting battle inside because Ty Walker at 7 feet going up against Dallas Lauderdale at 6'8". But Dallas has got 40, 50 pounds on him.
Yeah, I was going to say, he's got some bulk. Here's the handoff to Gaines between the rings, 10 on the shot clock. Gaines drives in, all the way in.
Nice layup.
He just extends that arm out so far. It's tough to block that shot, and he laid it in for 2.
Terrific quarter so far for Frank Gaines.
Lauderdale's listed at 260, Ty Walker 230, so there you go. At least on paper, it's a 30-pound difference.
Well, and
that's tough to throw around.
260 on the left side, perhaps.
He's a big boy. I mean, he's chiseled.
Large lad.
Ball comes back in. 10 on the shot clock for Idaho. 8 now. 7, 6. Here's Hal. Nice little jump fake. Now puts it up. No good on the shot. Rebound by Chris Wright. It finds Anderson. Marcel Anderson. Right side. Corey Allman 3. Too strong. And the rebound by Reggie Hearn with 33 seconds to go in the quarter. Jackson quickly gets it up the floor, and a travel is called on Pierre Jackson, who looked like he may have been fouled before that. At least took some contact, and nothing was called. No argument from the bench of Idaho, and it was right in front of that Stampede bench, but ball back to Maine here, up by 1 with 28.9 now to go in the first quarter. So Maine's going to drain the clock here as much as they possibly can before getting that shot. Anderson at the timeline, dribbling it down, 10 on the shot clock, 14 game clock. Ty Walker with a high screen. Anderson drives in. Now it's Allman. 3 seconds, 2 seconds on the shot clock. Allman drives in, no good on the shot. Rebound by Lauderdale. 2 seconds, 1 second on the game clock. Jackson 3 ball. The runner is good, and that counts. Oh, there's a way to finish a quarter.
Ouch.
Oh, what a shot by Pierre Jackson. It's 25-23 after one. Idaho with a 2-point lead. It's Red Claws basketball right here on the Time Warner Cable Sports and the NBA Development League Network.
Woo. Painful.
Taking a look at it. So after one, it is a 2-point lead for the Idaho Stampede. Welcome back to the Portland Expo. Chris Dank along with Coach Rick Simons. They did indeed check out the final shot by Jackson. The brand new instant replay that the entire league has instituted this year, which I think is a great thing to see that all the teams are now using the instant replay like they do in the NBA. Officials signed off on it and it looked good on the shot, and it will stay as Idaho gets back.
And there's two ways to check to make sure that was good, and that is check the instant replay or to ask us.
That's right, yeah, because we were right on it. Oh, here's the steal by Chris Wright, all alone. Oh my! He almost dunked that from the foul line. That was about a foot away from the foul line.
He's
wow.
a high flyer from Dayton.
My goodness, and we have a tie game at 25. That was frightening. Here we're going to have a foul called. Looked like Chris Wright bumping into D. Bost and E.J. Singler. Coming in for the first time, the 6'6" forward from Oregon, getting his first action. Reggie Hearn will go to the bench for the Stampede.
This has the looks of one of those games that might go right down to the wire without either team being able to gain a great advantage.
And another quick foul called on Maine. That's going to go on Ty Walker. So 2 quick fouls here on Maine. We haven't even played 40 seconds in this second quarter. Shot clock being reset. The reason for the delay as we get back underway. Here is Jackson. Is in there with 2 fouls, so has to be careful here in this early second. And it's a nice block by Walker. Quickly the other way, it's Chris Wright finds Anderson. Over to Gaines. Gaines high off the glass and in.
Nice catch and dish by Marcel. And Frank Gaines, 5 for 5 from the floor.
And again, bench players getting the job done, Coach. Here's Boss. A lot of contact as he hits a beautiful floater.
Well, look how savvy he was. He threw his body into the defender.
Chris Babb still can't find the range as he puts his head down after missing that 3. Coming back the other way, it's Idaho, 27 apiece. Right side pass over to Jackson. Jackson looking to drive in, gets a high screen, kicks over, Boss 3, good.
Dribble drive offense. Draw the defense, kick to the open man.
Maine comes back the other way. Here's Walker to Chris Wright, left side to Gaines. Gaines back to Wright, will try a three himself, no good. And the rebound brought down by Idaho. Jason Ellis has also checked in for the Stampede. Here's a shot from the corner, in and out by Idaho. However, the rebound goes right to Singler, who lays it in for two. And now a 5-point lead for the Stampede, the largest of the game. Here's Wright, crosses over, kicks outside to Babb, into the corner, and Anderson's three ball is blocked out of bounds. With Damon Bellholter, Abdul Ghani, and Romero Osby all checking in. And looks like Frank Gaines and Chris Babb will stay out there.
There was a case of an ill-advised shot by Marcel Anderson. That ball was blocked by his elbow, I think.
Ball comes into Bellholter, right side. Gaddy looking inside, bounce pass to Chris Babb. Babb can't hit from the inside or outside, so he goes to the inside, and we have a lot of contact. A late whistle, and I believe Babb's going to go to the line. And Coach, is that something you tell your players if they're struggling from the outside to try to find their confidence indoors?
Absolutely. And one of the things that you can best do to get yourself going oftentimes is go to the foul line.
That's
Create contact, draw the foul, make a couple of free throws, start to feel good about yourself.
Oh, there's one. So Babb hits his first. E.J. Singler, the forward, picks up his first foul. And the team's first in this second quarter.
And of course, I state the obvious, but if you penetrate and attack the rim and do that 2 or 3 times in a row, then the defense recognizes that and will give you a little bit more opportunity, expecting the drive to give you space for that open shot.
Babb goes 2 for 2, cuts the lead to 3. Here's Idaho with the basketball, 9:30 to play in the second quarter. Here is Jackson, left corner, dribbles out of a double team. Singler wide open for 3 on the right side. His shot in and out. Nice rebound by Ellis, who lays it back up and in. And I'll tell you right now, Idaho doing a great job on the glass.
Terrific offensive rebounding unit, and Ellis made a heck of a tough shot there.
Bellholter tried to hand it off, and it's stolen away by Idaho. Bost all alone, easy lay-in for 2. Quickly the other way, it's Gaines for Maine. Gaines, so nice job by Pierre Jackson to get back defensively, knocks the ball out of bounds.
Wonderful job covering down there, never stopped hustling.
9 minutes to play in this opening half. Maine basketball underneath the hoop. Here is Gaddy. Throws it into Bellholter. Hands off to Gaddy. Bounce pass to Bellholter. Left open for 3. Again, missing that shot. Osby high off the glass to get the rebound. Out to Gaines. His 3 ball no good, and the rebound brought down by Richard Howell. Jackson in the corner, double teamed, and bumps by Damon Bell.
At this point, the Claws are 4 for 17 from behind the arc, and really, again, some of those shots are coming from the post players, and just awful tough to create much of an offensive flow.
Here's Bost.
Wow.
Wow, look at that. Catch and shoot 3,
that
no
is one
good.
tough shot right there.
As he passed it into Howell, and then Howell handed it right back off to him. Can't hit the shot, Maine back the other way. Here's Osby, and it's going to be an offensive foul. And that is the 3rd foul on Romero Osby. And Osby is pointing to the line saying, hey, listen, he was under that cylinder, but that is not the case.
Well, and we saw that in the very first game that Osby played when he struggled from the perimeter. Then he tried to make something happen and picked up 2 offensive fouls in that game and wound up spending most of the game on the bench.
So Cameron Taylor making his Maine Red Claws home debut today. Also back into the game is Chris Wright as he replaces Gaines. Had a nice first quarter. And again, more bench scoring for the Claws. 36-29. Idaho with the lead. Shot in and out for Jason Ellis. That ball was down. Quickly the other way, it's Maine. Here's Chris Wright. Wright driving in. He's fouled, lays it in 2, and he'll go to the line for the 3-point play. Just explosive.
Awfully tough to keep from fouling when he does that, because even though he's providing the impetus going to the basket, it's nobody was directly in front of him. So the ability to make that layup left-handed high off the glass is just a bonus.
Chris Wright finishing the 3-point play. That foul was called on Jason Ellis, his first, and we are now under 8 to play in this opening half. Maine cutting the lead to 4 on that 3-point play for Maine. Abdul Gatti, no, check that. DeBost is going to get called for the offensive foul. Oh, check that. Excuse me, it's going to be called on Ellis. So that's 2 quick fouls on Jason Ellis. They're going to get him on the screen.
Well, and there again, exactly what I said earlier. There's a case where Boss did not utilize the screen properly, and it winds up resulting in a foul as an illegal screen.
Chris Wright tried to pass it to the corner. Nice job by Singler to break that pass up. It will remain with Maine, though, with 13 on the shot clock.
Nice idea by Chris. Chris saw that he couldn't get the ball down low into Bell Holter, who had a bad angle, so he tried to get in the corner for a better entry angle.
Here's Gatti, right side. Looking for help, finds Chris Babb, right corner. Babb creates some space, takes the fadeaway, no good on the shot. Chris Wright had it in his hands, however, couldn't track it down, and DeBost for Idaho the other way. Here is Bost. Uses the Lauderdale screen. It was checked back in. Here is Ellis. Nearly travels. Left side to Bost. 10 on the shot clock. Bost, double team. Cross-court pass. Singler again will try the 3 from the corner and again misses it. Bellholter, a beautiful box out for the Claws, and a quick outlet to Gatti. Now to Chris Wright. Wright will drive in on Lauderdale. Tries high off the glass. No good. And the rebound brought down by the Stampede. Quickly the other way. Come the Stampede. It's Jackson. Crosses over, uses a screen this time. Oh, nice hesitation move, stutter step, whatever you want to call it. It was money, and he hits the shot too.
I'll tell you, in the parlance of coaching, he is hard to guard.
Another bad pass by Maine. It goes off the backboard. It's stolen away by Idaho. 2-on-1. Singler is fouled by Chris Babb, and he'll go to the line for 2. With 6:33 to go in this opening half, here's an opportunity for Idaho to take an 8-point lead.
One of the things, Chris, that the Maine is doing an outstanding job defending against the offensive sets. But where they're getting caught is they're not defending in the break situations. And as far as Maine's concerned, there's been too many numerical disadvantages here. They take quick shots on the offensive end, and that allows Idaho to have runouts with numerical advantage, and that's where they're struggling to defend.
So Singler to the line. First free throw is up and good. Singler's missed a couple 3 balls so far in this game. And Idaho, majority of the scoring has come from those starters, and so impressive to see that Boston Jackson have played the entire first half so far.
Well, and this is coming on the heels of playing the predominance of the game last night.
That's right. Singler misses the second, so the lead is 7. Maine basketball trailing the Stampede. Here is Cam Taylor. Now it's Gatti, 3 ball. That's going to be off, and the rebound by Bost. Not to mention the fact that Pierre Jackson's played with 2 fouls for about 10 minutes. Nice steal there by Babb. Read that pass perfectly, and Babb comes back the other way for Maine. Doesn't have the number, so they will reset. Here's Taylor, right side, Chris Wright. Inside to Bellholter. Right block extended, now gets to the right block. Strong move as he spins it around and lays it in for 2.
You know, you mentioned Jackson playing with 2 fouls. I think that's something that's been created in the last few years. Coaches never used to immediately take somebody out with 2 fouls in the first half.
Oh, great steal by Gatti. Finds Babb. Babb 1-on-1 with Singler. He missed the dunk, but it's tracked down by Gatti. Spin move by Gatti to the rack and lays it in for 2.
And just to finish my thought on that,
yeah,
there's a lot of players that can play with 2 fouls. It's really dependent upon the individual, and a lot of times is take him out if he's emotional, but if he can play with 2, why take him out?
Here's Lauderdale, 6 on the shot clock, still far away from the hoop, finds Singler. Now over to Jackson with a hand in his face. 3-ball, no good. Here's Gotti with a rebound.
3-on-2 with 2 trailers, 5-on-3.
Taylor, bad pass, though. It was low, and the ball knocked out of bounds, and it's going to be a timeout on the floor. 39-36. Idaho with that 3-point lead. 4:55 to go in this first half. It's Red Claws basketball and Time Warner Cable Sports on the NBA Development League Network. Back 36 with 4:55 remaining in the second quarter. Maine trailing Idaho by 3. Chris Babb, Abdul Gatti, Chris Wright, Frank Gaines back in with Damon Bellholter for Idaho. D-Boss bringing the basketball up. Antoine Hood, the 6'4 guard from Air Force, has checked in for the first time. EJ Singler still in the basketball game with Richard Howell, who has the ball. Nice move by Howell, and he goes high off the glass. However, they're going to call a travel before the foul. Just finishing off that 5, Dallas Lauderdale there too. So Pierre Jackson out for the first time in this basketball game. D-Boss still remains in the ball game. Maine with a chance to make it a 2-point game or possibly tie it. Here's Bellholter backing his man down, spins. Tough reverse layup attempt, no good. A nice job by Lauderdale to track that board down, coming back the other way. The Stampede. Singler left open for 3. Won't take it though. Now goes inside. And another defensive technical will be called on Maine. Defensive 3 seconds. And this time it was called on, I believe, Damon Bellholter.
Bellholter, absolutely.
Boss will take the free throw here, make it a 4-point game, and does. So 2 defensive threes called on Maine so far in this basketball game in the first half, and we are back underway. Here is Hal working on Wright, who has checked back in, and a bad pass. Singler threw it right into the stands. Ball back to Maine.
You know,
hasn't been the prettiest game.
So often what happens is the post player is leaning back trying to establish position, and when you try to throw the ball into it, he can't reach out to get it. His momentum and weight is leaning backward.
Here's Bellholter, nearly traveled with the basketball, finds Gatti. Gatti back to Bellholter in the corner. He'll take a 3. No good, and Chris Wright jumps too early, goes right over him, and the ball back to Idaho. Up 4, 3:45 now to go in this opening half. Boss drives in, finds Hal. He'll pull up, left elbow, way too strong in the shot. Chris Babb with the rebound. Quickly to Gaddy. Right side. Chris Wright to Gaines. 3-ball. May have been blocked a little bit because that was very short.
Yeah, I think it was deflected, absolutely.
And
again,
Stampede
not a great shot there. It was,
No.
a catch and shoot. He didn't really get a chance to get his feet set.
here is Boss, this time using the screen, but Gaddy did a nice job to stay with him. Abdul Ghani still tracking him down. Now they go left side. Howell from the outside one more time and still cannot find the range. Rebound to Babb. To Wright. Wright drives in, a lot of contact, throws up a shot with the left hand. No foul called, no basket. And Idaho comes back the other way. Here is Boss, slowing the pace down. Boss, back to Howell. Hey, stripped on the way up. Got it quickly up to Gaines. Here's Gaines, one-on-one with Boss, high off the glass, no good. And the rebound, nice job. Good defensive play there by Antoine Hood, not getting off the main player. And it will be Idaho basketball when we return. 2:33 to go in this opening half, 40-36. Stampede with the lead. It's Red Claws basketball on Commodore Cable Sports and the NBA Development League Network. And welcome back, 40-36. The Red Claws trailing the Idaho Stampede with 2:33 to play. Red Claws back in action tomorrow down in Springfield. The team actually leaving after tonight's game. It's a 3 o'clock start down there in Springfield tomorrow afternoon. Springfield still looking for their first win on the season. Pierre Jackson has checked back in for the Stampede team. The Stampede taking down Springfield last night. Looking to do the same here today in the Expo. Finds Richard Howell, now back outside to Jackson. Jackson, Howell, Lauderdale. Jackson drives in the corner. Hood, a big three there, and the lead back up to 7. E.J. Singler also still in the basketball game for Idaho from Maine. Marcel Anderson's checked back in with Ty Walker, Chris Wright, Chris Babb as Anderson drives all the way in and finishes. Nice leaner there.
Nice finish.
And the fifth would be Frank Gaines for the Claws. 1:50 now to play in this opening opening half. Here is Jackson. Oh, beautiful job there finding Lauderdale with the alley-oop as everyone followed the basketball. Here's Gaines. Chris Wright puts the head down, drives in, no good on the shot. We have a whistle and a foul called. Richard Howell picking up his second foul in this opening half. Very late whistle, by the way, there. That whistle came after after the shot was missed. That's not called if he makes it, is it?
No, absolutely not. And I'll tell you, Mike is not happy, Mike Peck.
You heard the reaction as Chris Wright hits the first. We talked about it. Chris Wright, one of the things he really wanted to improve upon this year is that free throw shooting. Has done very nice tonight, as he has, missed his first. However, the rebound by Chris Babb after the old broadcaster jinx.
Yeah. You're amazing with that jinx. What, would you please say that we have no chance at the 50-50 drawing?
Here's Anderson, drives in, falls down, but he finds Gaines. Gaines drives in and missing the shot, and we have a couple different whistles, and I believe it's going to be an offensive foul. And Frank Gaines will get called for that offensive foul, his first in the basketball game. Checking back in, I should say, is Reggie Hearn. Richard Howe will go to the bench. .118 now to go in the half. Maine down 6, Idaho basketball. Pierre Jackson for the Stampede crosses over the timeline to set things up for the Stampede. Jackson gets by Walker, drives all the way inside, looks for help. Instead, tough shot from the foul line with the hand in his face, no good. But there's the rebound and the putback and the foul as Antoine Hood got the board, laid it in, was fouled, and he'll go to the line for the three-point play as Marcel Anderson picks up his first for the Claws.
Pierre Jackson penetrated, saw that he didn't have a shot, and continued right around outside around the foul line, and then took that lean back 12-footer. But the Claws forgot to box out on the play and resulted in a three-point play, almost a three-point play, a three-point opportunity.
Hood misses it. We're under a minute now to go in this half. Maine with the basketball, down 8. Here is Gaines. Finds Babb. Babb back to Gaines. A little zone here from the Stampede. Gaines tries to beat the zone and ends up on the ground, and that's going to be a foul called on Hood. So Frank Gaines will go to the line for 2 with 44.4 now to go in the half.
Claws really have got nothing, no kind of flow in this first half. One of the reasons, to me, it seems like they're just shooting a lot of quick threes. And in the past, we've talked about that. Earlier, Claw teams have done that. If you go inside, outside, reverse the ball a couple of times, and then take a three, that's one thing. If you come down and jack the three, it's real tough to get momentum offensively.
Gaines goes 2 for 2. They go inside to Hood, and we have a whistle and another defensive three called on Maine, and I believe it's going to be Frank Gaines again.
For the second time.
This time Mike Taylor's trying to get a reason why, but will not get the explanation as Pierre Jackson goes to the line. And the lead back to 7. Some moisture on the floor that's going to be cleaned up as we get ready to get back in action with 33.5 now to go in the half. Here is Jackson.
Wow.
A lot of contact as Jackson drives all the way in on the screen as Reggie Hearn ended up on his backside. But it worked out for Jackson as he drove all the way in. Anderson can't get it to go, but the tip-in is good by Ty Walker.
Nice effort by Ty Walker there. The ball came off on the left-hand side, but he went up with his right hand to tip it in. Not an easy thing to do.
So the lead 7 after the exchange of buckets, and now we're down to 10 seconds in the half, and Idaho's going to play for 1. Here is Jackson. He's going to get a high screen from Lauderdale, left side. Jackson tries the crossover. Nice job by Babb to cut him off. Now he drives in, kicks it outside. Singler's pass will go to nobody. Or excuse me, that was Hearn's pass goes to nobody. And that is their halftime. 50-43 is the score at the half as the Red Claws trail the Idaho Stampede by 7 in a game that saw very few runs and really just a few more executed plays by Idaho than Maine in this first half.
Well, neither team is shooting 40% from the floor, so I mean that tells you that the quality of play is not up to D-League standards.
No question about that, but I'll tell you, certainly anyone's game still in this. I'll tell you, you talk about it, Coach. Maine just 1 for 17 from downtown. That is less than 6%. And you mentioned it. It's not that they're just missing shots. It's that they're getting bad looks.
Yeah, they're not getting great open looks. And again, one of the things you have to do is you have to explore. You have to be able to reverse the ball, bring that defense, make them adjust a couple of times. Or the best way to shoot threes is to go inside, outside, because then you're squared, your hips are facing the rim. Right now, they're just catching the ball, passing it around the perimeter, and taking the first open shot. And as you just mentioned, the result is they're shooting 6% from behind the arc, and that'll get you beat.
Not only that, but some miscues, some mistakes, and 3 defensive free calls. Not the greatest thing to see either here, Coach. So obviously Maine is trying some new stuff defensively. We've seen some zone out there, but still, I think it's probably the first time. I think it's the first time we've seen a Red Claws team in the 5 year or 4+ years we've done this get more than 1, maybe
right.
2 in a game.
Right. I think the most. We'll have to check our records, but I think there's been 2. But here's a case where a player got 2 in Frank Gaines, and no question about it. I know they've been working on defense. If you listen to Coach Taylor, and I'm sure they have, but this is not what he's hoping for.
So an interesting half to say the least so far, but an entertaining game. There's no question about that, and a competitive one. It's just a 7-point game. The Idaho Stampede undefeated on the season with the lead over the undefeated Maine Red Claws, 50-43, as we get you ready for second half action. But before we do that, we're going to send it back to Mike Antonellis back at the Big Jab Studios. 50-43 your score. Red Claws basketball on Time Warner Cable Sports and the NBA Development League Network.
Game I've loved since I learned how to play it. And the game gives you the greatest opportunity to compete as often as you would like. And to watch it flow and to watch the players get better and go out and play it the way that you've envisioned it in your head.
This is beautiful basketball.
There's nothing better than that. And then you get instant gratification. You play well, you know it. You play poorly, you know it. There's consequences to all of it. And to me, coaching is the next best thing to playing. It's like I'm out there when the game is over, I'm perspiring and I'm going through the same emotions as the players. It's just beautiful to be a part of.
Mike, you want to come talk to me? Is that why you come over here? Because I didn't give you a hug?
Motivation is easy. They want to win, they want to do well. When you have guys that you have to go out and motivate all the time, they're not going to be around long and they're not going to help you win. The main thing is to be all you can be today and not worry about yesterday, not worry about tomorrow.
Big fella, how you doing?
That's the only message I try to get across. Let's just go out and have a good day today. It doesn't always work out, but that's what we strive for.
All right, I just want to talk to you, you know, let you know that I love you. I'm glad you're back. You know, just keep working. We'll keep winning.
We can't be afraid of success, but we can't wait for it to come to us. We got to go grab that bull by the horn.
There's times when I don't use the clipboard at all and I want to get inside their heads.
Way to be strong! Way to be strong!
And then there's times when I just want to talk about what we need to do, an adjustment defensively or what play we're going to run.
Come on!
Get there early.
We got to start getting some stops. We get whatever we want offensively, but we got to get some stops.
I played basketball. I understand mistakes. I made my share of them. And when I was a young player, I made a lot of them. When they're trying to do something and it doesn't work out, I'm not mad. I saw what they were trying to do.
Griffin knocks it away, dives on it.
And those things happen in the game. You continue to compete. You never stop learning. It's just the same as life. You're always learning something.
Man, huge game tonight. Can't wait to go in here and see these rowdy fans. Pivotal game in the series. Looking forward to trying to get control of this thing.
When we won the last game, the only thing people were talking about were, I can't wait for it to be Friday. I can't wait for the game to be back in Oakland. Denver reporters were saying, man, I hope I can come to the game. You know, the atmosphere there is crazy.
Let's go, Warriors! Let's go, Warriors!
Faced with a double-digit deficit and an injured ankle, the breakout star of this postseason delivered to the delight of a raucous Oracle Arena.
Better look to Steph. His three. Good!
Shot clock already down to 10. Curry drives on Brewer, gets to the paint, another scoop to the hoop again. Steph Curry. Curry, left wing three. Good! Warriors take the lead.
Great job, gentlemen. I'm jealous. I wish I could put on a uniform the way you're balling. Finish this thing up.
Gets it far sideline. Iguodala dribbles midcourt. Good if it goes on the way. It's off the rim. No good. Ball game over. And the Warriors somehow come out of game 3 with a win.
The great thing about it is when you are part of an environment like this, you want more. Great job by the fans, and I'm awfully proud of my guys. But just a big-time win for us.
I'm not surprised when Steph had big nights like this, double-doubles, plays through injuries. He's our leader. I'm so happy he's doing the playoffs.
It's a big win. Being down 12 and a half, come out with a victory. You can't be mad at that. So we got an opportunity to come out 3-1 on Sunday. We're looking forward to it.
Just look to keep playing well, keep playing strong, and finish strong. That's all it is.
Make them beat us on our terms, not on theirs. They're proven. 57 games, number 3 seed. They're proven that they can beat folks on their terms. I know they can't beat us on ours.
Once again, the 25-year-old shooting star took center stage and fueled the frenzy with a breathtaking performance from the perimeter and all points in between that put his Warriors in a commanding position.
Curry fires away. Got it! Are you kidding me? The Denver Nuggets are going to go home down 3 games to 1 to the 6th seed, the Golden State Warriors.
We are getting ready for third quarter action live from the Portland Expo. 50-43 is your halftime score. The Idaho Stampede up on the Maine Red Claws as it stands right now. And Coach, well, we have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. And the ugly, the outside shooting for Maine so far, but certainly plenty to look at and see. Again, showing the depth, a lot of scoring coming from off the bench, including Frank Gaines, who was instant offense. Some good defense at times as well, and it's also been a lot of fun watching these guards play, and they certainly are a matchup issue when it comes to it. And they're going to be a matchup issue for every single team in this league when you watch Pierre Jackson and D-Boss play.
Well, Pierre Jackson is just so skilled with the ball. The ability to be able to go inside, outside, crossover and fade away. A great scorer. And he may be 5'9", 5'10", but he had 43 points last night. And while tonight he hasn't had an outstanding scoring half yet, with 11 points, he's certainly played a major role.
No question about that. Also played nearly the entire half, as did D-Boss. Both of those guys play a ton of minutes. And again, they are two of the higher prospects in this league. Talking about high prospects in this league, a top 5 prospect, Chris Wright, off to a nice start as well, as he is always a fun offensive player to watch. However, another one of those top 20 prospects for Maine, Romero Osby's had a hard time trying to get into this game, it seems.
Yeah, it's as I say, it reminds me so much of his first game, in which he struggled from outside, then tried to go inside and created some offense. Once again, finds himself sitting on the bench for a good portion of it in foul trouble. Over the years, it's a score from the bench. You mentioned the good, the bad, the ugly. The good is that they're shooting well from the foul line. The bad is they're only 34% from the floor, and of course the ugly is the 6% from behind the arc. So, right, as you mentioned, this is good, bad, and ugly right in the first half.
50-43, once again your halftime score as we get going. How important these first few minutes here for Maine to really try to establish themselves in this game?
Well, and I think that you hit it right on the head. I don't necessarily, think it's about how quickly they score, but whether or not they're able to run, their offense and get into an offensive flow. One thing that happens, they've had a couple of weeks off, and that while that's that's good, and they've been practicing every day, but you lose that game time edge in terms of, because you don't go as hard in practice as you do in a game. And as a result, we've had some passes where a player has cut to the basket, the ball's been thrown behind him. Those are the types of things you have to work out in game situations. I'm sure they'll get they'll get smoother here.
So we get back in action, and it will be Idaho basketball as we start this second half. D-Boss, Pierre Jackson, Reggie Hearn, Richard Howell, and Dallas Lauderdale, same starters for this Idaho team, and a whistle because the shot clock never started.
It allowed Boss to get a freebie out here from about 23 feet.
Maine also with their starters as well. Abdul Gatti, Chris Babb, Romero Osby, Chris Wright, and Damon Bell-Holter. Foul trouble-wise, Roe Osby with 3 fouls, no one else in that situation for the Claws. All right, back to action. Nice backdoor cut and a good find there. And an easy bucket for Reggie Hearn, and quickly it's a 9-point lead for the Stampede team.
Nice design play there, and as you mentioned, backhanded pass to the cutting Reggie.
Maine with their first possession. Bad pass by Gatti. Maine, by the way, going left or right on your radio for this second half. Here is Pierre Jackson using a high screen. Goes back to his right. Takes a tough shot, and it goes down. And the Stampede start with a 4-0 run here.
Not what the Claws were hoping to get coming out of the locker room for halftime.
Here's Bell-Holter, finds Chris Wright. Just underway here in the third quarter. Osby hands off. Chris Babb, 3 ball is up. In and out. Still can't buy a bucket from downtown. Is that a better look?
Well, a tough shot. I think that Frank Gaines, of course, being the premier three-point shooter, is the one that should be taking them.
Well, bad defensive play there by Maine, and left wide open down low for the easy flush.
I think Coach is going to call a timeout right here.
And again, all timeouts 30 seconds, unless it is the official scorer's timeout, so we'll keep it right here. But basically the opposite just happened about what we talked about needed to happen. And credit to Idaho. This is such a professional team when you watch those guards get things going. And not only that, it leaves those bigger players, Coach, to be able to move around freely throughout the play.
Well, and as I said earlier in the broadcast, you know, you look out there and you look at the rosters and you say, well, they're not very tall, etc. Hey, it's a guard league. I don't care what division you're playing or what level of professional basketball. And when you've got experienced professional guards like Pierre Jackson, he finds open people and, of course, has the ability to score for himself as well.
So Maine comes back out as Coach Taylor called the timeout. We are back underway. Here is Bellholter left side to Gaddy. Finds Babb off the screen. Here is Babb, picks up the dribble to Osby. Right corner, shot is up and good, and a nice look there for Romaro Osby, and he gets it to fall in, and a steal by Chris Babb. Here is Babb. Thought about the three, maybe a little gun shy after some of those misses, instead allows the team to reset. Gaddy, double team, back to Osby. Osby thought about the three himself, looking to drive in, and it does, all the way in the rack, and it's blocked by Lauderdale. Back out to Gaddy, though. 6 on the shot clock. Gaddy hangs in the air, fouled, but will go to the line for 2 after the miss.
Terrific penetration on that play by Osby, but as you mentioned, Lauderdale just was having none of it. I think what Coach Taylor needs to do the next couple of times down, if they don't get the fast break opportunities, is to run some sets to ensure them getting good shot opportunities.
Gaddy missed the first. That was the third foul, by the way, on Pierre Jackson. That's something to watch. Did a great job just playing in there with 2. Second free throw is up and good by Gaddy. And the lead cut to 10 with 10 minutes to go in the third. Here is Boss. He's fouled, hangs in the air, can't get it to go. That foul's going to be called on Gaddy. And there's that speed.
And a simple little handoff. Little handoff from Jackson to Bost, and with the quickness, as you mentioned, and the penetration, foul is created.
Bost first free throw up and good. Not a lot of rotation on that shot by Bost from the foul line.
Kind of a Tommy John foul shot.
Second shot up and good, too. And the lead back to 12.
I always remember some writer talked about Tommy John's fastball coming up to the plate like a little kid coming down on Christmas Eve in slippers.
Here's Osby left open for 3, and Romaro Osby gets that to fall, and the lead cut to 9. So Osby here now with 5 points in this quarter and up to 7 for the game. He was left wide open for that. Here is Howell. Squares up on Osby, backs him down, tough shot, can't get it to go, and the rebound to Rowe.
Nice job by Osby to stay down and not rise up and create the...
Here's Babb. Osby, he wants another 3. That's going to be well off, and the rebound tracked down by Chris Wright, who saved, no foot on the line. Another expo, as we like to call it, though that time at least he was trying to save the basketball, not just standing there.
Exactly.
.9:15 now to go in this third quarter. 9-point lead for Idaho with the basketball. Here is Bost. Corner, now to Howell. Trying to find Jackson, finally does. 10 on the shot clock. Jackson driving in, double team, finds Howell. Easy runner, however, doesn't go down, the rebound.
They got numbers.
To Maine, Chris Babb, 2-on-1 for Maine. Babb to Chris Wright, slams it down with 2. And a timeout on the floor as we have some popcorn spillage.
I think that fan was so excited about the prospect.
Check that, I believe that's beer spillage.
At the prospect of Chris Wright dunking that ball, she threw her beer mug up in the air.
Who wouldn't be that excited? And now the lead cut to 7 as we get back underway, but a nice job there. Maine continuing to run the floor well.
And that's what they need, because obviously if they're in transition with numbers, then they don't have to resort to taking that ill-advised 3. I'm not sure Coach Taylor was looking for a stoppage of play after a couple of quick baskets.
Well, Chris Wright leading all scorers with 16 now as he continues to have a very solid game. Just so athletic, does so much for this team, and has certainly shown that he can be a little bit more of a consistent scorer than we saw last year. As for Maine, Romero Osby, Coach, I know he caught a little bit fire there, and it seems like he really rushed that three attempt as he was still very far away.
Absolutely. And what happens sometimes is, he scored 2 baskets in a row, one of those being a 3. Sometimes you feel like, hey, I'm feeling it now. Give me the rock. We got about 9.
Yeah, that was a serious spill
there.
because, yes, you're right. There's about 55 people over there cleaning up, and they're actually both teams going back to their benches for the time being.
The animals are lining up 2 by 2. There's a lot of liquid over there.
Just a quick game reset. It's 58-51. Idaho really jumped out and took a double-figure lead, but Maine has got it back down to 7 with 8:47 to play. D-Boss, Pierre Jackson, the primetime guards for this Idaho team, both with 13 points in the basketball game so far. Both teams struggling at times from the field. Maine just 2 threes so far. They were shooting less than 6% from downtown at the half. However, Osby did hit a 3 in this quarter, and Chris Wright with an alley-oop dunk right before the spill of the beer. So we are about to get back underway here. It will be Idaho basketball. Same 5 coming out: Boss, Jackson, Hearn, Howell, and Lauderdale. 3 fouls for Pierre Jackson, 3 fouls for Romero Osby for Maine, and it will be Gaddy, Babb, Osby, Wright, and Bell Holter as the teams are back out and we get ready for some play. They used about 17 towels.
We'll have to make note of that in our record
They did a
book.
good job. Looks like the boys did a good job there. Yeah, it's pretty funny. So here we go, back underway.
Most used prior was 14.
Back underway, underneath the hoop. It is Jackson, dribbles all the way from to the foul line, misses the shot. Chris Wright jumps to about the Mars to get the rebound. Abdul Agadi crosses over in the corner. He's double teamed, kicks it outside to Osby, fakes the pass, now drives in, stripped of the ball. Bunch of players on the floor, and then finally Lauderdale just picks it up. And quickly back to Idaho. Here is Boss. And a foul's going to be called on Gaddy as he basically just grabbed him as he tried to get by.
Well, he got beaten badly there on the penetration and reached out just to stop. How many times have we seen number 11, Pierre Jackson, dribble in, dribble around, go through the lane, and then come out on the other end towards the foul line, giving himself space for that short jump shot?
Yep.
So difficult to defend. I think Coach Taylor may have to make a substitution here.
And that's another foul on Gaddy. He has 3 fouls in this quarter. He has struggled. And again, young guy. I mean, it's got to be tough to stay with these guards. I know Pierre Jackson's a rookie, but Pierre Jackson also a very high prospect here. And D-Boss is certainly showing that veteran style as he has been in preseason camp with the Trailblazers. Played last year for Idaho too. Very solid player. Showing that experience, no doubt about that. Here's Boss. Beautiful bounce pass to a cutting Richard Howell. Lays it high off the glass and in. Lead back to 9.
Nice job of using his body to protect that ball. Howell went in right-handed, shifted it to his left hand.
Bell Holter left open for 3. Still can't find the range. I know he shot quite a few of those in college, but he hasn't shown that yet so far in the pros. Idaho quickly the other way. Nice fake by Jackson. Pulls up from the right elbow. Can't find the range, though, and Bell Holter tracks down the board. Quickly the other way. Here is Babb. Cuts off his streak and Gotti to the corner. Chris Wright, and we have a travel called on Chris Wright in the corner.
Bell Holton 1 for 6 from the floor thus far, 0 for 4 from behind the arc. And as we mentioned, it's they're 2 for 21 now from the 3, which again, better than 5.9%, but it's just the reverse, 9.5.
Here's Boss. Nearly stole it away, now driving in, and looked like he wanted to get the foul called because he just took a really difficult fadeaway, no good. Ball knocked out of bounds, back to Maine.
It's not that Idaho has played superbly, at this point. It's just that Maine has not had the opportunity to get it going on the offensive end.
Here's Osby, right side. Gotti looking inside to a posting Chris Wright right now. Fronts his man, drives in. He's going to be short on that attempt, though. And the rebound to Idaho. And there's an easy bucket down low for Hearn. He's had a nice third quarter so far. Gotti drives in outside to Bellholter. Left open for three again. He'll take it again and no good. And the rebound to Idaho. Maine continuing to struggle from downtown. Hearn quickly the other way. He puts up the shot and it is good. And the lead is back to 13 with 6:15 now to go in the third quarter. Quick moving quarter here. Here is Gotti with the exception of the beer spill. Gotti drives in. His floater's going to be short. Gets his own rebound. Puts it back up. Looked like kind of like a set from a volleyball, but it goes down. And Maine cutting the lead back to 11. 64-53 now under 6 to play. So we are around the official's timeout. Kicked outside, nearly stolen away by Gotti. Now the ball to Hearn in the corner, and he is on fire as he drains the three. And Hearn now has right quickly up the court. Bad pass stolen away by Lauderdale. Hearn now with 11 points, by the way, as he's into double figures. That's 4 players now at double figures for the Stampede. Nice stutter step drive in, kicks outside. Hearn thought about another one. Instead goes to Boss in the corner. Boss short, he's short on the shot, Bellholter with a rebound.
Had that gone, it truly would have been a dagger.
I tell you, some of these guys look gassed out
Well,
there.
right now the claws are kind of walking up the floor, and it just, they're just not playing with any great pace. And as a result, it becomes contagious.
Here's Gotti, now to Osby, left side. 5 on the shot clock, 4 on the shot clock. Babb has to take a long three and drains it. That was a big shot.
Well, and there's a case where the defender didn't know how much time there was because...
And we have moisture again, by the way, and I think that's going to bring us to another media timeout. So it will, as they're going to have to clean the floor once again. 67-56. Well, check that. As they have not decided yet if, I guess they are not going to make it, the timeout. So we will keep it right here. Apologize, a little false start there for us. 67-56 as the, it seems like I believe the ball boy is saying that the normal broom that they use, the Swiffer, or whatever it is just soaked from the earlier spill, so they had to bring out a bunch of towels to clean it up.
And I'll tell you what I think maybe is a sign of a problem is they're going to get a Zamboni.
Yeah, it's like we're at the Civic Center again. You know all too well about that.
I do. We got to send out one of those ball boys for more towels.
Yeah, what a strange third quarter.
It's been a very unusual.
Because we are not on top of ice. This is just the basketball floor, and it just must be one of those nights. Though you wonder, I know we did have our first snowfall of any kind of accumulation, and most of it melted today. You wonder if something came through the floor, but it hasn't been a problem all night, so I wonder. But now the rest of the team going back to the bench, and I don't know if they're going to count this as the timeout or not, but neither team has really talked to the, and I don't think they are, and I think Coach Mike Taylor is just saying, hey guys, just go back to the bench because the next whistle will be the timeout. So there's going to be a lot of substitutions to tell you about on the next timeout, but we are going to get back underway with 5:04 remaining in the third quarter. It will be Idaho basketball, 67-56. Officials talking one more thing, and now we are back to action. So here we go. Now under 5 to go in the quarter. Here is Jackson, drives left side. He's cut off, kicks it outside. Boss takes a bump, and they are going to get the foul called, and we'll see who that's going to be called. And that's going to be on Gotti. That's his 4th this quarter. We'll take a timeout. 67-56, Idaho with the lead with 4:52 remaining in this third quarter. Trick Claws basketball, Time Warner Cable Sports, and the NBA Development League Network. Oh, that was really good.
Now the substitutions have been made.
Yes, they have. Antoine Hood, Jason Ellis, Pierre Jackson, Richard Howell. As the shot is high up the glass, no good by Jackson. The rebound by Marcel Anderson. However, the ball stolen away. Nice play there by Jackson. Idaho with it, nearly stolen back by Maine. Ball up in the air and another steal. This time back to Maine. Reggie Hearn still in the basketball game as well as Pierre Jackson just picked up his fourth. For Maine, Marcel Anderson is in, Frank Gaines, Chris Babb, Ty Walker, and Romero Osby. So now Jackson with 4 fouls, and he is going right to the bench, and D. Boss coming back in.
You know, we haven't mentioned Richard Howell's name a great deal tonight, but he already has a double-double with 14 points. And he averages 12 rebounds a game in his first 4 games and already has 11. So he brings his lunch pail and works hard and once again puts up numbers.
Ty Walker stripped on the way up. Idaho back the other way. Speaking of Howell, had the ball nearly stolen away, got his own bad pass back, and then laid it in for 2. Howell with 16 points. Here's Gaines. Finds Osby, hands off to Babb. Babb looking for an open look, doesn't have it, instead finds Osby. Left elbow extended, driving in now, double team stolen away by, there's your boy, Richard Howell. 4-on-3, Howell looking to go coast to coast and does, and lays it in, and he'll go to the line for the 3-point play as Idaho threatening to take quite a big lead here going into the 4th.
I think probably I made quite a prognostication there.
Yes, you did.
Kind of a precursor of future successes. But then again, I have ESPN.
Free throw missed, though, by Howell, and the rebound by Maine. Here is Anderson. Crossing over, Anderson finds an open Chris Babb. 3 ball is up and good, and he's hit his last 2.
Big
And that
shot
cuts the lead
for Chris.
to 12. Yep.
They got to stay close here and helps in the 4th quarter they catch fire. Especially while Pierre Jackson's on the bench.
Ball stolen away by Walker, throws it up to Anderson. Anderson has Howell behind him and kicked it right out of bounds. However, it went off of Richard Howell, so Maine got lucky there on that break.
Yeah, really, that was fortuitous because Anderson lost the ball.
I think the ball just took a dip. You can see how wet the basketball is. It has been a wacky 3rd quarter with spills here.
And we've talked about it in the past. If you sit in the front row here at the world-famous Expo, you're going to be part of the game. And unfortunately, oftentimes, so is your beverage of choice.
So Marcel Anderson will inbound for the Claws as we get back underway. 3:07 to go in the 3rd. Anderson looking, finds Osby. Now to Babb between the rings. Babb with Jay Singler on him, who was checked back into the basketball game as well. Babb, Osby left open for 3. He'll take it. Got it! And Maine's starting to warm up a little bit from downtown. They've hit their last 3. 71-62, lead cut to 9.
3 for their last 7 from behind the arc.
Boss 3, no good, and then the rebound.
Here comes numbers.
By Gaines. Gaines slows it down instead and finds Babb. Back to Gaines. Gaines looks to drive in, lost the ball on the way in, and it's going to be off of Gaines. Back to Maine, timeout on the floor, 71-62. Idaho with a 9-point lead, 2:31 to play in this 3rd quarter. Red Claws basketball on Dominic Cable Sports and the NBA Development League Network. Ball comes back in. Will be D. Bost with Antoine Hood. Hal Singler. And Jason Ellis. Singler off a screen. Finds Ellis. Cross-court pass. Hood left open for three. No good. And the rebound by Ty Walker. But Walker is not going to get away with the push. And that is going to be foul shots because Maine is in the penalty. So Ellis will go to the line 4-2. Fans didn't like that.
Fans weren't happy with that call, and of course, for one thing, it aborts the fast break that the Claws looked like they had.
First shot by Ellis, no good. Chris Wright will come in for Ty Walker, and Maine will go a little bit smaller here. First time we've seen this lineup tonight. We've typically seen Bell Holter or Walker in the basketball game together, or not together, at least one of them in the game, I should say. Ellis hits that, and we have a 10-point game as we approach 2 minutes to play in the third. Marcel Anderson, bounce pass to Chris Wright. Wright will hand off to Gaines. Down the line, Gaines, high off the air, no good. And
great
then
effort by Chris
flies
Wright.
in and is fouled. He'll go to the line for two.
What Chris needs to do, because he's obviously an energy player, is he needs to take his game to the next level and see if he can't will this Claws team to catch up. Because right now there's not much happening on the offensive end.
Like I say, it's not fouls. Not a shooting foul. Interesting. So Chris Babb will have the side out here on this right side, right in front of the Idaho bench with 1:58 to go in the third. Ball comes into Wright, finds Anderson left side, and we have another whistle and a clock issue. And we should be okay, as I believe the question was about the 24-second shot clock, and yes, it was correctly reset because the shot went off the rim before that foul. So here we go. Babb gets it into Chris Wright. Now to Anderson, to Osby. Driving in, finding a cutting Anderson. High off the glass, no good as he paid for that miss. Going back the other way, it's Idaho. Voss dribbles the basketball, nearly out of bounds. Nice save, though, and he kicks it outside to Howell. Howell will have things reset. The Singler now to Voss with 10 on the shot clock. Voss, Anderson. Bad pass inside, stolen away by Maine. It's Gaines. Gaines to Anderson. Driving it again. This time he gets the layup to go.
Nice little wraparound pass there. Frank Gaines flipping it around the defender to Marcel Anderson, who this time converted the layup.
Yeah, Gaines had another nice game here off the bench. Here is Singler. Looks to drive in. Osby double teams him, kicks it outside to Howell. Osby back on him, shoots over Osby, and he gets it. Richard Howell continuing to have an outstanding game, now 18 points. And the lead back to 10 with under a minute to play in the third. Anderson, long three is no good, and the rebound is missed. Check my stats again. It is 20 points now for Howell.
20 points, 11 rebounds. Yeoman service for the black and red.
51.1 to go. Before we have fourth quarter basketball, here is Bost. Idaho looking to build on that double-digit lead. Doing this all with Pierre Jackson on the bench with 4 fouls. Here is Howell. Still feeling it and still draining it. Fade away from the foul line is good. Right over Osby once again. 30 seconds now to go in the quarter. Here is Babb, finds Osby. Left open, he'll take the three. Got it. As Howell did not close quick enough. And the lead cut back to 9. Maine hanging on, Coach.
Absolutely. They can't gain any ground because they're not stopping Idaho from scoring right now. But they are beginning to score on the other end.
8 seconds in the quarter. 7. Here's Boss looking inside. He finds Howell, gets to the hot hand. 3 seconds, 2 seconds over Osby. He gets it again from 18 feet. 1.6. Ball into Gaines. Half-court shot is up. No. Wow, he almost nailed it, but no good. And it's an 11-point lead for Idaho as we go to the fourth quarter. It's Red Claws basketball on Time Warner Cable Sports and the NBA Development League Network. Idaho Stampede just about to kick off. Chris Tanaka along with the coach Rick Simons. 78-67, Idaho with the lead. Maine will have the basketball as we get back underway. Ty Walker, Frank Gaines, Corey Allman is checked in, Chris Wright, and Marcel Anderson. Pierre Jackson back in as well, E.J. Singler. The hot hand of Richard Howell still in there with Dallas Lauderdale as Chris Wright drives in. His shot is blocked by Lauderdale. And Reggie Hearn. So Idaho, good defensive play to open this quarter. And here is Jackson. Jackson crosses over. Ball stripped away though, and here's Chris Wright. Has some space. Chris Wright will drive in, and the two-handed flush goes down. Just so quick when he gets the basketball.
Well, and I noticed on the last play, Howell came down awkwardly on his ankle, and he was the furthest player back, but couldn't move very well, so he didn't certainly challenge Chris Wright.
Shot missed this time by Howell, and Maine comes back the other way. Anderson stripped away, and they have a 2-on-1. However, Hearn can't get it quickly up, and then he falls down. May have been some contact. Now 3-on-2 for Maine. Corey Allman will pull up, misses a three badly, and the ball goes out of bounds back to Idaho.
3-on-2, yeah, 3-on-2, pulled up for a three-pointer and shot an air ball. Ouch.
78-69,
Not what you want.
9-point lead for Idaho, 11 minutes to play.
Right now, I mean, there's a case where they need to take the ball. They get a 3-on-2 advantage, take the ball to the rim, and get an easy layup.
Here's Singler. 6 on the shot clock, goes inside to Reggie Hearn, and then the ball taken away by Maine. Anderson hands off to Allman. Left side, Gaines. A long three is up by Gaines and no good. That was about 26 feet.
Well, yeah, 24, 5 feet easy. You're right. That's what I was just going to say.
No one picks up Jackson. His three ball is a serious brick, and then Howell with the board is fouled. Doesn't put the shot in, but he'll go to the line for 2, I believe. That is going to be the call. Chris Wright with a foul. That's his second.
Control tip. Good call, Chris.
Maine has not had some good looks so far in this quarter.
Now, again, settled. They're settling for that first quick shot.
Hal gets the first. Lead back to 10.
As I look at the makeup of this team, and of course now it's never as good as it seems or as bad as it seems, but as I look at the makeup for this team, it looks like they're going to need somebody that has an inside scoring presence. Because right now, Bell Holter is taking nothing but deep shots, and as we've seen before, Ty Walker is not an offensive weapon.
Hearn gets both. Maine coming back the other way. Marcel Anderson has the shot blocked out of bounds. It will be Maine basketball with under 10 now to play. 10 on the shot clock. Anderson into Chris Wright. Wright, power step, blocked by Hal, kicks it outside to Gaines for 3. No good, and now an offensive foul called. I believe they're going to get Gaines, yep, with the legs. As he stuck the legs out, and that is something that the officials are certainly watching a lot closer now.
Well, now I'll tell you this, without a question, that was called very aggressively. And without a doubt, C.J. Washington, the official on that call, made it early and decisively.
Singler right side looking for help. He's going to get a high screen from Lauderdale. Goes the other way, though. Now finds Lauderdale. Hands back off to Singler. Tough shot from the right elbow. Does not go, and Maine tracks down the rebound. It's Chris Wright with numbers. Wright's going to drive all the way. Fouled and can't finish, but he'll go to the line for 2.
And that's exactly what they need to do. Absolutely. Looked like the 8-16 out of Buffalo there. Down on track 3.
Third on E.J. Singler. I'll tell you, Coach, both of these teams haven't done themselves any favors with some of the looks they've had tonight. There have been some, and maybe we're not giving credit where credit's due defensively, but there have been some tough shots tonight.
Absolutely.
Tough looks. As Chris Wright misses the first. Boss check back in, so I imagine you're probably seeing pending foul trouble or foul issues. You're probably seeing these two great guards staying in the game. Chris Wright missed both. However, Frank Gaines had the rebound but could not finish. So Maine with an empty possession yet again, and they can't have many more of those.
They can't afford to miss both free throws, no question about it.
Jackson, stop and go move, finds Boss to the corner. 3 ball is up and good.
Boss looked.
Check that, long two.
Boss turned to look at the bench as if to say, you can't stop me.
Keep giving me that, please. Anderson in the right corner. Looks for help, finds Chris Wright. Down the lane goes Wright. He is short on his layup attempt, and the rebound brought down by who else? Your boy, Richard Howell. 8:50 now to play in the basketball game. 13-point lead for the Stampede. Danger time for Maine. Boss behind the back pass to Howell, drives in, and we get a travel call before the foul.
Clear foul, but it said that it came before.
So Marcel Anderson and Corey Allman to the bench. Abdul Agati and Roe Osby back in.
You know, you'd think I'd get one of the numbers right in the 50-50 drawing.
Never happened, Coach. It'll never happen. Here's Osby. Kicks it outside to Gaines. Now over to Chris Wright. 8 on the shot clock. Walker to Gotti. 5 on the shot clock. 4. Gotti drives in. Tough runner, does not go, and the rebound to Howell.
Get up in the air and short-armed it as if he was afraid that the defensive presence of Lauderdale was going to challenge him.
Jackson, beautiful move. Oh, what a pass. Great crossover, and then a beautiful pass.
8 assists for Pierre Jackson. Just another outstanding game.
Lauderdale with the alley-oop dunk. Here's Gotti to the corner. Gaines, foot on the line.
That's the expo.
Yep. And Maine
those
running
fans,
out of time here, Coach.
For those fans that are they're new to that expression, it's when you catch the ball and you're already standing out of bounds. We see it so often in this building.
Bellholter in. Chris Babb in. 15-point lead for the Stampede. 7:45 to play. Here's the shot. Long shot, no good. This time rebounded by Babb. Maine back the other way. Osby fakes the three, and they're going to get him for a travel. And I thought there was a possible technical coming his way because there was another whistle. However, that was not the case, as he has not had a lot of agreements with the officiating tonight, which overall I think has been perfectly fine. Here's Jackson in the corner. Double team. Howell kicks it outside. Jackson fakes the three. High off the glass. No good. Excuse me, that was Boss high off the three. Or high off the glass. I apologize. No good. Rebound for Maine coming back the other way. Babb to Osby. His three ball is up. That's going to be off. And the rebound to Hearn.
Mike Taylor's been real patient tonight. Hasn't said much to his team and said much to the officials, but he has to be a little frustrated because right now the Claws are shooting 34% from the floor overall.
Well, and that's got to be frustrating too because Maine just picked up their fourth technical foul for defensive 3 seconds, and this is the second one that Damon Bellholter has. So Bellholter has 2, Frank Haynes has 2, and that's another technical foul for Maine.
We may need to go over that in practice.
Shot is up and good. And timeout for Mike Taylor as Maine now finds themselves down by 16. By the way, that free throw is hit by Pierre Jackson. But Coach Simple, we played nearly minutes already in this quarter, and I can probably tell you maybe 1 or 2 times Maine's had a good look in this quarter.
Well, what we call paint touches. The ball is not going into the paint. It's being passed around the perimeter and then jacked up. And when you're 16 down, I know it's quick and easy to say I'll hit some threes and get us back in it, but they need to score. And by attacking the rim, perhaps drawing fouls, they can score with the clock stopped.
85-69 is the score, 6:46 to play. Maine's going to come back out with their starting 5 of Gaddy, Babb, Osby, Wright, and Bellholter. For Idaho, it's Boss, Jackson, Hearn, Howell, and Lauderdale, which indeed is their starting 5 as well.
Damon Bellholter played his college ball at Oral Roberts, where on the floor of that arena is the expression, expect a miracle. And right now, the Claws seemingly are going to need one.
Well, there's a steal for Maine, and here's Gaddy all alone. Nice job by Chris Babb, who has played very well defensively today. It's another steal. And there's an easy bucket for Maine, something they desperately needed to hopefully get them going a little bit here in this fourth quarter. Still down by 14, I should say, as we approach 6 minutes to play in the ballgame. Here is Jackson. Right side, Boss left open for 3. This time will not go, and the rebound tracked down by Hearn.
Osby got his hand on it, but wasn't able to control it and tipped it right over to Hearn.
Here is Boss, hands off to Jackson. At the timeline, bounce pass to Howell. Tough move, and we're going to get a whistle and
moving screen.
An offensive foul. It's going to be called on Dallas Lauderdale, as you said it. Timeout on the floor. 5:55 to go in the ballgame. 85-71. Iowa will lead us Red Claws basketball. Coming to Cable Sports from the NBA Development League Network. And welcome back, 85-71, 5:55 to go in the ball game. It is Maine basketball, trailing by 14. Abdul Ghadi having a nice game. This is his season high so far with those 9 points, and we have a foul down low. A hold called on Reggie Hearn. That's just his second, team third, so the Maine's still a couple away from the bonus. Ball comes in. Here's Bellholter, top of the key. Not been much of a factor tonight offensively. Babb back to Bellholter. Kicks it outside. The drive in, a lot of contact as Gotti took it all the way in and is fouled. He'll go to the line for 2, and that's going to be called on Dallas Lauderdale. That's his third.
And there's a case where he... Yeah.
Here's Gaddy. Foul shot is good this time. Last time he was there, missed it.
Oftentimes, naturally, as home...
problem is, you know what it is? There's no slack on either. See that? Yeah, that's the problem right there. And we are back. Thank you very much, Mike. Power issues at our press table today. Again, we apologize for those problems. Right now it's 92-78. Under 3 now to play in the basketball game. Maine still trailing the Stampede. And there is a timeout on the floor. We might as well keep it here since we just came back, but 92-78. Maine is trying to keep basically scratch and crawl at this point, or scratch and claw, excuse me, at this point, Coach. However, still credit's got to be given to the team as the defense has just continued to play very well.
And you know, as the power went out, Chris, that's exactly what I was going to say. So often we as broadcasters representing the home team, you know, we put the problem or the onus on the home team's inability to score. But let's take a moment to say what a terrific job Idaho has done defensively. Because there's a reason why you have to settle for threes. There's a reason why the Maine Red Claws are shooting but 33% from the floor. And that certainly that has to, a large part of that has to go to the defensive abilities and showing tonight of this Idaho team.
No question about it. So again, the Red Claws in danger of losing their first game here tonight, but again, it's to one of the best teams, and it'd be hard to believe that, especially if Pierre Jackson and Key Bost are around for the majority of the season, that this isn't one of the best teams in the league.
Well, and let me quickly add, you call him my boy, but Richard Howell has 30 points and 14 rebounds. So, I mean, if there were to be a player of the game to be selected from both teams, he certainly would be it.
92-78 is your score, 2:59 to go at this Portland Expo. By the way, I just want to update you quickly, and Mike probably did as well, but it's 10-0 Michigan State at this point. They're playing in the second quarter. Florida State up 7-0 over Duke at this time as well. No surprise there, but an interesting scoreline certainly in that Big Ten championship game so far. So Maine comes back out. It'll be Gaddy, Osby, Babb, Chris Wright, and Frank Gaines coming in. So they're going to go to a scoring lineup. Jackson, Bost, Hearn, Howell, Dallas Lauderdale stay in there for this Idaho team. So back to action. Here is Babb over the timeline, finds Chris Wright. Wright crosses over, drives in on Lauderdale, no good. Tip in though by Osby, is good. Maine retaking the lead. Or excuse me, Maine getting back into the game, down 12. Brain cramp, 92-80. Here is Bost. Looks right side. Driving in, nice pass. Lauderdale left wide open, and he slams it down with 2 hands.
And with that dunk, 5 players are now in double figures for Idaho.
Here's Wright underneath, ball knocked out of bounds, and it will remain with Maine.
Led by the aforementioned Howell. In the 5 games, this being the 5th game that Idaho is playing, Pierre Jackson has led them in scoring 3 times and Howell the other 2, but in all 5 occasions, Howell's been the leading rebounder.
Gotti will inbound for Maine underneath the hoop. Here is Abdul, finds Osby, thought about the 3. Waves that off for now. Now driving in on a zone defense, and it's going to be a blocking foul called.
Osby upset with himself that he wasn't able to finish that in the hopes for a 3-point play. fortunate that he wasn't called for an offensive foul because he lowered his right shoulder there as he went to the left side.
Maine is in the bonus, so Roe Osby will go to line 4-2, and we have more moisture issues. So Osby will be iced here for a few minutes as they clean up the floor. So here is Osby now with 2:11 left. First free throw is up and good. Osby's second will not go down. And now Howell. Howell with another rebound, not surprising at all. Here is Jackson now to Bost, under 2 now to play in the ball game. Jackson on that right side will take a tough 3, no good, and Frank Gaines high up for the rebound, quickly up to Babb. One-on-one here, can't control it, stripped on the web. Great defense by D. Bost. And then the ball knocked out of bounds off of Maine, I believe, and we have a couple whistles, and this one might actually turn around and be Maine basketball. We will see as the officials are going to have a conversation about it, and it will be Maine ball.
Bost not happy with that call, and of course, nobody ever is when it's overturned.
Yes. You never see that, like, you know what? Good call, ref.
I never thought you fellas would see it. Great effort.
I wasn't going to say anything, but yeah, I mean, you nailed it. Here's Chris Wright driving in, fouled, and lays it in for 2. He'll go to the line.
At least I don't have to feel guilty going home tonight. Hey, we might as well laugh because we haven't had a great deal to laugh about here tonight.
That's true.
Chris Wright once again.
That's 5th foul, by the way, on Lauderdale, and now Chris Wright is going to try to make this a 10-point game with 1:33 to play.
Chris had an outstanding game once again. With this could be his 26th point.
In and out, then back down. So it is 26 points now to go along with 11 boards. He has a double-double. Romero Osby also with a double-double here tonight, too.
In the spirit of Thanksgiving.
That's right.
Double-double.
Here's Jackson. Hesitation move, now underneath the hoop. Ball stripped away by Maine. Here is Gaines quickly up the court. Gaines fouled. Will they give him the shot? I'm not sure they would, but it doesn't matter because he and the Claws are in the bonus. He'll go to the line 4-2. That foul is going to be called on Reggie Hearn, his 3rd.
Would have been interesting to see if that ball had gone in, if they had allowed the basket, because
the official kept the arm up for a while, so
did.
they may have. And Gaines gets the first to fall.
He actually
Don't look now, Coach. We are into single digits for a lead here for Idaho with 1:12 to play. Gaines hits both, and it's an 8-point game. 3-possession game, still a lot of time. What looked like a game that was over about a minute ago is now gotten tight, though Maine needs to stop here. Under a minute to go. Here is Hearn.
3 stops. Can they get it?
Bounce pass over to Jackson. Jackson shoots over Babb. 3 balls up. Oh, nail in the coffin. That may have been it. What a 3 ball by Jackson. Maine the other way. Chris Wright has it stripped away. Now it's Gotti finding Gaines. 3, no good. Rebound knocked up in the air. Tipped out to Jackson all alone. Jackson will, nice little double pump jam there by the small man. And that will do it. Timeout Maine, but that's pretty much going to do it. 13-point lead with 34 seconds to play, and it's been the Pierre Jackson show here over the last couple minutes.
Well,
over the last couple seconds.
And you know, it's interesting because he now has 19 points, but he's 7 for 23 from the floor. Really hasn't shot particularly well tonight, but he's such an electric player, as he demonstrated in the last 2 times down. He hits a 3 from deep with a hand in his face, and then he double pumps a dunk all by himself. So he can do it all on both ends.
99-86, 34 seconds to go. As we mentioned, Maine back in action tomorrow, taking on Springfield. They're actually going to head down tonight. A long trip down to Springfield after a loss. But it's early, and it'll be the first loss in the season for Maine. This Idaho team, nice little trip out east here. A couple wins over Maine and Springfield as they go back to Boise, still undefeated. Tomorrow's game, a 3 o'clock start on the NBA Development League Network and 96.3 The Big Jab. Oh, nice little play up to Chris Wright, and that's the exact play that won the game at Fort Wayne the other night, where they go with that little backdoor dunk. Unfortunately, Maine defensively, and Hearn with an easy one-handed flush. With 30 seconds to go, here is Osby up the court behind the back. He is going to be given the lane as he lays it in for two with 23.4 seconds to go, an 11-point lead. Here is Jackson. Maine not fouling, at least for the time being. Now there's the foul by Gaddy, and that's going to put Jackson at the line. And I think Mike Taylor just gave the sign of, you know what, that's going to do.
Well, and I think that's Gaddy's 6th, if I'm not mistaken.
It's his 5th.
It's his 5th, all right. I am mistaken.
It's not very often, Coach, but hell, sometimes it happens. It wasn't they're not in the bonus yet, so that's going to do it. As Idaho will dribble out the clock. Final score, 101-90. Idaho with the win over the Red Claws here this evening. What a game by those guards and by the big man, Richard Howell, down low. We'll talk to our player of the game next after Maine's first loss of the season. Red Claws basketball right here at Time Cable Sports and the NBA Development League Network.
The Cup and Saucer. It's a partnership that works. Couple.
And welcome back. Final score 101-90. The Maine Red Claws falling to the Stampede here tonight. We're here with our player of the game, Chris Wright. And Chris, unfortunately, you guys can't win them all, but this is a game that kind of, you guys were trailing a little bit, got back into it, but they were able to really put the finishing touches on. Just overall, your thoughts on this one?
I mean, I just thought, we missed the opportunity to get a win against one of the top teams, in the West Division. So they had a couple plays early where it was, I know I gave up, 4 points on the back cut. That could have made a difference down the stretch. They got a couple offensive rebounds, and I feel like inside, myself included, from top to bottom, we play soft at the rim, and that's something that we got to get better at because going into Springfield tomorrow, they bang down there just the same. So we got to be ready.
Chris, you scored 90 points tonight as a team, but it didn't look like you ever really got in a flow. At one point, the team was 1 for 17 from behind the arc, wound up shooting 34% from the floor. What was missing?
I just think, as a professional ball player, we had a week off, but you can't let that be an excuse of why you can come out and be flat. We got to start from the jump. Anytime you step between these lines, you got to be mentally ready and physically ready. And tonight, we kind of got out to a slow start. We scored 90 points, but, they scored 101 points, and they played last night, so it just shows it was a better team tonight, and, we just got to be ready.
Certainly a lot you could take away from the start of this season, though. It seems like your team very deep, and anyone really could be the hero.
Yeah, that's one of the strong points of our team. We got a deep bench, and, Coach said it before the game, back-to-back weekends, so everyone was going to play. Everybody got out there and, did what they were supposed to do. At least we tried to, so, that's what we want to do is just every time, like I said, when we step on these between these lines, you got to be ready. You never know when your name is called.
Is there a need? It didn't appear that there was much of an inside game tonight. Is there a need for establishing more of that inside?
I think we try to do a pretty good job of establishing inside, but we just got to do a better job of executing. It's all about timing and getting the post up and being strong. Around the rim. We was terrible around the rim tonight, and like I said earlier, they got a lot of second chance opportunities, and they had a lot of just shots in the paint that we just couldn't stop. And that's how they got the win. That helped them out a lot.
Well, they got a couple of players there that are pretty difficult to defend in Pierre Jackson and Richard Howell.
Yeah, compared to last night with him scoring 43 points, I thought we did a good job of slowing him down. But, we put a lot of pressure on the guards to do that, and they slowed him down, him and Boss. But the bigs, we didn't do a good job, and we didn't cover our assignments like we were supposed to.
Well, Chris, best of luck tomorrow. Springfield, safe travels down there, man.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Once again, our player of the game, Chris Wright. Excellent game here tonight as the Maine Red Claws get ready to go down to Springfield, leaving actually pretty shortly. They're going to be taking off here from here tonight. But again, Chris Wright, another outstanding game for him. Unfortunately for Maine, too little, too late. They made that nice run, got it down to 8. That Pierre Jackson, certainly the difference. And we talked so much about those guards and how well they played, and they did play well tonight. Boss hit so many great shots. Pierre Jackson with those big shots late. But really, like you talked about him, Coach, in the second half, Richard Howell and the men down low, even Lauderdale doing a great job on the glass and scoring. Just too much size and too much speed out front for this Maine team.
Yeah, and of course Chris is always accountable to himself. He said, he gave up some points, et cetera, et cetera. Quite frankly, this is a difficult team to defend because they can hurt you outside or inside. Pierre Jackson not only scores a lot, as evidenced by 43 last night, but he creates for his teammates. And when you've got an outstanding shooter in Bost, in the two-guard spot, and Howell down low, who's a man, there's no real weaknesses. All 5 started, scored double points for the Stampede tonight. This is sometimes in athletics you have to just take your hat off to the other guy. This is a very good basketball team.
What do you expect from this Maine team tomorrow? They face Springfield. Springfield, another team that has a good presence down low. Maine was able to exploit that in Game 1, really from that outside shooting to open things up. But the Claws are going to have to be ready, and Chris said it, they're going to have to be ready to bang down low tomorrow.
Yeah, and we've talked about it most of the evening, and that is you live and you die by the three-point shot. And sadly, tonight they died because they were ineffective. They need to shoot the ball well. But as I asked Chris, it seemed with Bell Holton, most of his offense comes from the perimeter. We know Ty Walker's not an outstanding scorer. That wasn't his role. So they need to be able to, as Chris said, execute better. And, of course, if the ball's going in, they're a much better-looking team. Final thoughts on tonight's loss, the first loss of the year for the Claws. Yeah, tough loss tonight. I just thought that I thought they were a little flat. And, Chris said it. We don't want to, make excuses because we haven't played. They just never got in rhythm. They weren't able to extend anything, and there was no continuity of their offense. Let's chalk this one off as, a week off, and hopefully they can get back on the winning track tomorrow night. Final score 101-90. The Maine Red Claws falling to the undefeated Idaho Stampede. For the coach, Rick Simons, I'm Chris Sedanka. Mike Antonello's back at the studio as we say good night from the Portland Expo.